Georgia Southern Athletics here with head coach Jeff Monken after the Eagles come away with a huge SoCon win at Furman, 38-17 at Paladin Stadium. Coach, slow start to the first half. What did you say to your team to get them going and get that second half working with three straight scoring possessions?
It wasn't, I don't think anything we said too much, at least not that I could repeat. But I think they just decided that they didn't want to lose the football game and they were going to fight a little harder. I don't think that our intensity and our focus was as good as it should have been in the first half. And that's my job is to get them there and have them ready in the first half. You know, it's a slow start. We had a slow start last week, and I'd love to jump right out there and get 7 points in the first drive, and we didn't. But I'll tell you, I'm gonna give credit to Furman. They got a good, tough football team, and certainly not their record's not indicative of what a good football team they have.
Three straight scores in the second half kind of put a little bit of distance, but it's always dangerous to let anything slide against Furman, certainly in this very tough rivalry. Some of the passing calls, some of the short drives, were those in the game plan, or those opportunities came about?
I think it was just a matter of opportunities. We really want to try to run the ball effectively, and they were doing a good job of fitting the run and defeating some perimeter blocks when we got the ball out there. They've got their guys in good position. It's hard to get them out of position in a run game. But when they are playing the run game aggressively, sometimes you can get some guys behind them in the passing game. And we did a couple of times, and that was fortunate for us. We got some big plays. You know, we hit a sprint out play down there on their sideline. It was a really good catch, and that was in the 1 minute drill before halftime. We had some passes, but it's those play actions that hopefully are going to soften up the perimeter a little bit to help us do a better job blocking.
Knowing that you're coming into this game against Furman, a heated rivalry, telling the kids all week long that they were going to see the very best out of this team, what were some of the things you were thinking going into the locker room at halftime?
I told you so, and I said that to them after the game. I told you so, and it's a big rivalry. And you look up here on their board, over here they've got NCAA national champion against Georgia Southern, national finalist 1985 against Georgia Southern, 2001 national finalist, beat Georgia Southern to get there in the semifinals. You know, this rivalry runs deep, and they're going to bring their best. And I didn't have any doubt they would, and you know, I'm certain that they'll see some things that they saw where they could have played better, and thank goodness they did. And I thought they played a great first half, and I was concerned at halftime. We had to play a lot better in the second half if we were going to hope to win.
Linebacker corps did an amazing job getting some tackles. Defensive line shut down some areas. What were the things you were most impressed about in the defensive scheme?
I thought the defensive line did a good job of just not allowing them to get knocked off themselves, to get knocked off the ball. You know, where I was disappointed, we didn't get enough guys to the ball when those plays happened. They had a lot of big holes on that power play. Gerodis Williams, who I think is a good back, was hitting it in there, and he had a big crease. We weren't denying enough passes on the perimeter. We didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I give him credit. He was able to get rid of the ball and throw it away, and didn't take any sacks, and he did a nice job.
One of the plays that we talked about with Deon DeBose, that big fumble recovery, almost for a touchdown, not quite. How important was that in the momentum of the game as well?
Oh, that was huge. I mean, anytime there's a play like that, I don't know, I can't remember if they were on our side of the 50 or not, but it was close to midfield, and Deon scooped it up and, you know, was able to get it down there inside the 10-yard line, just change his field position. And, you know, great job of our guys getting the ball in the end zone and scoring. I thought it was a huge momentum change in the game.
You've talked week after week in practice about getting those turnovers, getting those opportunities back for Georgia Southern. It came to fruition today at a really opportune time. Coach, what are some of the other little things that you know from watching on the sideline we're going to have to improve on for next week's game in Chattanooga?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I don't know where to start. We got to sustain blocks. We weren't doing that well enough. We were getting knocked back off the ball some on our offensive line, just not getting movement, which we've got to have to run the football. Defensively, denying the pass, too many underneath passes. They completed 25 passes or something like that, and the big plays in the run game where they were hitting that between the tackles, and that's not just the defensive line. That's the defensive line and the linebackers and the safeties getting in there and we got to improve. There's a lot of areas we got to do better, and I hope we had a kick blocked. That's the second time in 2 weeks, and that's disappointing and worrisome. We got to do better than that, so hopefully we will.
Coach Monken, thanks for spending some time with Georgia Southern Athletics. We appreciate it very much, and we'll see you next week at practice.
Thanks to all the fans that came. We had a huge crowd over here, and we'll need them next week too.